Good day. Today we are going to be going into the section of our series titled Common Teenage Problems. Common Teenage Problems. The first one we are going to be looking at under that heading will be underage sex. Underage sex is sex between people who are below the age of 18. Um, However, if you have a child who is above 18 who is still living with you, you are still caring for them, because they are 18 doesn't mean that they are licensed to start having sexual activities. Any child that is under your care, even if they happen to be 25, you shouldn't be allowing them to have sex. The simple reason is because of the results of underage sex. Usually comes with unwanted pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases, and so it should be avoided. It should be avoided as much as possible. Definitely, a child who is under your roof should not be involved in any kind of sexual activity. Sexual activity is for mature people, because there are a lot of consequences when a child comes as a result of the sex. A lot of responsibilities come up that a person who is still living with their parents, who is still under their parents, might not be able to handle. So, how do you solve this issue of underage sex? I made a list of some points that you should be looking at if you are a parent with a teenager and you are trying to prevent underage sex. Firstly, be familiar with your child's friends. Underage sex is usually encouraged by friends of teenagers, so you have to know the kind of friends your child has, and monitor them, monitor their activities, know where they are going and what they are doing. And you must also discourage early dating, early and frequent dating in teenagers. It can only lead to one thing. Do not allow your child who is a teenager to start thinking about having a relationship, start thinking about dating, especially when they are still living with you. A child who is living with you is definitely not ready for marriage, and so dating at that time would only lead to one thing. So always discourage early dating, discourage frequent dating as well. Then monitor your child's activities, know where they are going to, know what they are doing in that places. If they are going to a party, find out what kind of party it is. A lot of sexual activities happen at parties, especially for teenagers. So find out what they are doing at these parties, and who they are meeting, and exactly what is going on at these parties that they are going to. Also, talk to your children about abstinence, sexual abstinence. That means staying away from sex until marriageable age. We're in an age where that sounds strange now. In some cultures, it's even discouraged. Teenagers are told that they have rights over their bodies and they can do what they like with them. But you are a parent, your role is to, I advise, to encourage your children to abstain. Encourage them to abstain, and you must speak often to them about this. It's not something you say once and just let it go. You must keep talking to them about it, keep reminding them about it, and sell it to them, help them to buy into it. It will help them. Among other things, it teaches self control, it teaches sexual self control. Abstinence teaches sexual self control, which will help. We see a lot of videos on the internet, people in highly placed places, people, government officials being brought down as a result of sexual scandals and things like that. Now, if these people had learned how to control themselves sexually as youth, I'm sure they would have been able to handle such things before they led to scandals. Also, um, try not to scare children away from sex, your teenagers away from sex. Making them afraid of sex might not help them, but just try and encourage them to wait while discussing with them the consequences of the results of teenage sex, early sex, underage sex. So make sure you're always talking to your children. Start early. Start very early to talk to them about the dangers of underage sex. As early as possible, as early as they begin to understand, start talking to them about it. It will help them to cope. In our next chapter, we are going to be talking about the results of underage sex. We're going to be looking at teenage pregnancy and also sexually transmitted diseases. So, thank you for listening. If you know this video has been useful to you, please subscribe and share for someone who may also find this useful. Thank you.